Welcome everybody to the Daily Mastermind. I am Paul Baxter, implementation coach, and I am definitely here to help you grow. What we're going to talk about today on the Daily Mastermind is website custom audience ads. It's Facebook retargeting part 2. So today specifically we're going to go into the ads portion of what we talked about yesterday in terms of how you set up your website custom audience, or WCA as it's referred to throughout all of Facebook. We talked a little bit yesterday. Let me change my slides while I'm going through this. So to recap what we talked about yesterday, we talked about website custom audiences and what website custom audience allows you to serve ads to people who visit your website. That's the gist of it. If people come to your website, you can now serve ads to those people. We walk through step-by-step how to create a website custom audience in the Ads Manager, and you do that by going to Audiences, Create Custom Audience, and then from the list of 4 instead of Data File, we simply choose Custom Audience from our website. And we set up the particulars, name it, we choose how long we want to keep the cookie active for when people do go to our website. I made the recommendation to change that from 30 to 180 days. Pretty easy stuff. We talked about how to copy to get the pixel code first and how to paste that into your website. We talked about if you're using other systems like James is using GoDaddy, how to make that happen with GoDaddy. I talked a little bit about if you're using Mortgage Web Success, Joe Garris's system. If you do his done for you, he'll typically set most of those things up. Even if you don't, I talked about how to get him that pixel and have him just get it inserted for you. He will do that part even if you're not doing his done for you service. He will help you get that pixel onto your website so that it's there and you can run these ads on your own if you'd like. We talked about, I don't have it on here, but we talked about the difference of website custom audience and FBX, which is Facebook Exchange. The main difference is the third-party software that you have to use for FBX or Facebook Exchange, and the fact that you're somewhat limited to the types of ads that you can run with an FBX, which is the boomerang system that Mortgage Web Success is using is an FBX. They're using a third party to make this all happen. You're kind of limited to the types of ads you can run. Now, it's still fantastic. You can still do the right column ad, which is the typical place, but you can't do the news feed or the mobile ad with that. And that's where I kind of like to get my ads placed, because I definitely feel like the news feed is what people are looking at, and that gives me a little more opportunity. It also takes away a lot of the stringent requirements that the third parties require, such as having a minimum number of unique visitors. I think for like Perfect Audience it's 1,000 unique visitors, and you can accomplish that through Fiverr. But this way you don't have to contend with that. You only need 20 unique visitors to get started with this way. So we talked about that. And once you get your pixel set up, we talked about what to look for so that you get the idea that that's done correctly. And so today we're going to talk about the ads part of that. And we mentioned a little bit about how to get the 20 people, how to build that audience, but today I want to show you guys how to utilize the advertising, Facebook advertisement, if you need to build that audience. Let's say you don't have 20 people or a group of people that you can send over there. We're going to build our audience via Facebook ads. So we're going to create an ad targeting our prospects, either through demographics, or if you have uploaded a custom audience before via user IDs or email addresses. As you know, there has been some changes with the upload of a custom audience, but we still have the ability to upload email addresses. It's just that we're only getting about 60 to 70% of those email addresses to match up with an account, and it greatly depends on where you're accessing or getting the email addresses from. We know now that we can't upload scraped user IDs. We get blocked from that. But if you have uploaded user IDs prior to the change on October 1st, then you're in good shape excuse me, I meant to say September 1st. I apologize. Before September 1st, you're in good shape. Your audiences with user IDs are still available to you, so you can target that way as well. But again, if you don't have those things, we still have the ability to utilize Facebook's built-in demographics to target exactly who we want to market this type of strategy to. Now, when we're creating an ad doing it this way, we're going to use website. Actually, it's clicks to website, not website conversion. I meant to change that, and I missed on this slide. Everywhere else I talk about is clicks to website. The images I'm going to show you is clicks to website. I apologize. So we're going to use the clicks to website type of ad, and this will get website visitors. So that's going to help you build your website custom audience ad or audience. So you're going to go to the Ads Manager, just like we did the other day, but this time on the top, on the right-hand side, you're going to click the big green button that says Create an Ad. Very simple to do. That's going to take you into where the options are. And again, I did not mean website conversions. I meant clicks to websites. That's the ad type that you're going to choose here, is clicks to website. Now, once you do that, you simply paste in the URL address of the website where you've placed that pixel code for the retargeting situation for your website custom audience. So you just paste in the URL address here. That's all you need to do, and you click Continue. Now, what that's going to do, excuse me, is it will bring up some of the basic images that are on your website, but I'm going to recommend to you that you upload your own image. And the optimal size for your image that you're going to upload for your advertisement is 600 by 315. That's a great size for in the news feed and on the mobile, but it's the optimal size for the right column ad. Okay? Facebook has its own way of doing images, and so what I have found is 600 by 315 is the optimal size for your advertisement image that you're going to use. And make it an image that makes sense for what you're talking about to get people to click to your website. If it's for referral partners, need help getting more listings, find out more here. And maybe it's a link to a page where you've got your invitation to a class that you're teaching on how they can do a great FSBO strategy. Just make sure the image makes sense for your actual advertisement. Once you've selected your image, when you're doing a clicks to website, it doesn't know what fan page you want to associate it with. And so in order to get your ad in the news feed, you do have to connect it to a Facebook fan page. So all you do to do that is you drop down there, there's a choose a Facebook page, drop down the menu, you choose the page that makes sense, and it's typically going to be your main fan page. And that will allow you to now do newsfeed and mobile ads. Okay, it's an option. You do not have to add or connect it to a Facebook page. You do not have to do that. However, you lose the opportunity to be inside of news feeds with your ad if you don't turn that on, and that's where a vast majority, especially when you're doing a clicks to website, I want people to click to get to my website here. So it's very important to me that I get into the news feed, because that's where Facebook says 93% of activity that happens on Facebook happens right inside of Facebook. That's where engagement takes place, and that's where I want my ad to be, because I know that's where I'm going to get people to click my website. And again, I'm looking to build, I want as many people to click that as possible, because I'm trying to build that number on my audience so that I can begin my retargeting and serving my retargeting ads and continuously growing that list, right? This is what this does, is helps you grow that number of people that your ad is being served to on a retargeted basis. So you're going to add your headline, and you're going to add some text. Now, your headline, you are limited to 25 characters. Your initial text, you're limited to 90 characters. Now, you want to grab their attention. It's all about what's in it for them. So on my ad, and this is a true ad that I am running currently, bonus member class, I'm kind of throw it out there. That kind of grabs their attention. Bonus member only class. Check out this easy 3-step funnel that will help you get more out of your consumer direct. And then what I did, because I could not get consumer direct marketing, or I couldn't do much else. Could get direct, but I wanted it to appear that there's more to the statement. So I ended my word early and did ... Facebook does that a lot of times if you're doing a post that maybe the verbiage or the text in the post is longer than what's allowed on the home page. It will cut it off. I think it's like 200 characters on the home page, and then it kind of cuts it off and gives you a see more button. I'm kind of playing on that fact that most people know that on Facebook, and so I've done the ... here purposely because I want people to believe that there's more to this message. I want people to want more from the message, so I've given them some really good juice here. Check out this easy three-step funnel that will help you get more out of your consumer. Well, I got to click to find out what else he's talking about here. Now I've led them to ask more from my message. I meant grab. That's supposed to be a grab their attention. Obviously, I was putting the power. There's a lot of slides here, and so I did not get a chance to do my spell check before I started. Thank you, though. Grab attention, not crab attention. Grab their attention. What's in it for them? Thank you. And so that's what I've done here. But the main thing I wanted you guys to see is use the, I know Facebook well enough to know that they do separate things and they'll give you that see more. So I'm using that as part of my ad. I'm grabbing their attention, giving them a little bit to wet their whistle, and then encouraging them to click more by utilizing something Facebook does with the ... I just can't do the see more, but it appears that way, right? So that's a little ninja trick you can use. Just know that you've got 25 characters in the headline, 90 characters in the text. Now the cool part is, next you're going to choose whether or not you want a button for the action step. So if you add a button down here on the bottom, it will say tell me more, or download now, or sign me up, or there's about 6 different things that you can choose from. The image itself is clickable, as well as the link below it, as well as the headline. Those are all clickable items of this ad that I really don't have to worry about a call to action button. And so I leave the button off on mine. It's entirely up to you. If you feel like it supports your ad more, if you're saying, hey, get a free renovation loan download here today, get your USDA loan information here. Hey, veterans, make sure you download this great, whatever it is, or, free training class for agents on renovation loans. If you're going to do something like that, just make sure that the button that you choose matches up. You can certainly do that. I just prefer not to because everything else is clickable, so I don't feel like I'm losing out by not having a button with a call to action. But depending on your ad, you may want to add that, okay? The next thing you want to do is to give yourself a little bit more of a description, and you do that by clicking the Advanced Options drop-down. It's right under the buttons. You click it. Show advanced options, and what that'll do is it'll pop open a newsfeed link description. Now this will only be visible in the newsfeed and the mobile newsfeed. It won't be visible on the right column ad, so just know that going in. You are limited to 200 characters here, and so you've got to be creative. You want to give them a little bit more. You don't want to repeat yourself, but give them a little bit more to help them understand what's in it for them, right? And so my statistics show that 90% of sales happen after 3 touches. Check out this easy 3-step funnel that will help you get more sales. This is straight from our members-only archive, here to help you grow. That's my little message there. The next part is to choose your audience. How are you going to target? Who are you going to target this to? Now, as I mentioned in the beginning, you can do it either to a custom audience that you've already uploaded or with demographics. I'm going to show you how to do both here. If you have a custom audience that you've already uploaded, under the custom audience section, you simply click down here, choose a custom audience, and it'll pop open a list of all the different custom audiences you have, and you go through and you select the ones. So what I've done is I've got, you know, my user IDs that I uploaded way before that have lots of different loan officers, because obviously I'm targeting loan officers to click to my website. And so I've used my custom audience here, and that gives me X number of people that I'm targeting. Now, if I want to use my demographics, I simply go down to the job title. Again, I want to target, you know, loan officers, or for you, you're targeting real estate agents. So you would go down to the job, to the more demographics. Under work, you would select job titles. I'm not going into great detail on how to select that because we did a class exactly about that about 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. We did a class specifically about the changes with custom audiences and how to use demographics for your Facebook ads, and it goes into great detail on how to choose demographics to target real estate agents specifically in your area. And so if you need a little bit more, definitely refer back to that class. But you can also target with demographics, real estate agents. If I did it for my area, I think I end up with like 4,400 people that I can target and get them to click. And depending on how many click, I'm now adding them to my website custom audience, retargeting my ads, okay? Now you're going to add your website. Once you've added, whether you're doing demographics or you're doing a custom audience, once you've set up that and are finished, you're going to go in and you're going to add your website custom audience too, because you're going to combine all of your, you know, your demographics or your custom audience with your website visitors or your website ad. What that's going to do is help you build up that audience quicker. So you can add that to it. Because I've got X number of people in my list or on my demographics, it doesn't matter that my website ad doesn't have enough people to run that ad yet. This is how I'm building that up to get to that level, right? Next thing you're going to do is you're going to name your ad. Just give it a name, you know, bonus class website clicks. That's exactly what my ad is it's a I'm giving them a bonus class because I'm trying to get website clicks. Give it a budget. You can set it at $10 a day, $20 a day, depends. All that dictates is how quickly you want to build your website custom audience. I will tell you straight up front, mine I did $100 a day because I'm looking to get thousands of people on my website custom audience. It's not necessary to do that. To get that minimum number that you need, spend $20 and you're done. Honestly, spend $20. That'll get you to the minimum number that you need. And then anything additional from there that you want to do to build up that audience to continuously brand to more and more and more people, you can do it for a very limited or a very minimal number. What's cool about it is, and I didn't show it here, but you can also add start and end dates. You can turn your ad on and off. You know, let's say you want to run it 3 days a week and spend $30 a week on building up that custom audience, that website custom audience, so that you can continuously keep your face and your name in front of them. You just set it up to run for $10 a day at specific dates, and it'll do that for you. It'll turn itself on and off. It automates itself. Obviously, I'm leaving it to optimize for clicks because that's what I'm trying to do, is get people to click to my website, and then you simply place order. Now, once your custom website audience is big enough, you can actually then create a billboard ad to have a constant presence for them when they're on Facebook. And you can run the ad to the same URL address or to a specific offer. You can do a page post engagement. You can do any type of ad at this point to that website custom audience, and it's going to continuously serve that ad to those people. Make sure to have or create a good image to use that brands you. Now, we're specifically going to talk about a billboard ad. We're not going to talk about an offer ad. We're going to talk about a billboard ad in this next section here, and that means brands you. And when I refer to branding you, I'm talking about an image of you. Your logo does not brand you. You are your brand, okay? Again, I'll reiterate, the image should be 600 by 315. That is the optimal number for your images in ads. And the easy thing to do, guys, is just use PowerPoint to create it. It is super easy to utilize what PowerPoint brings to the table to create the image that you're looking for or in the size that you want, and do it in a way that's really, really cool. So you're going to do the same thing you did before. You're going to click Create Ad from the Ads Manager, that big green button up on the top right. You're going to go in. Again, I'm doing mine as a clicks to website because I want to bring people back to my website over and over again. I want to retarget those people that came to my website before from the first one. I want to bring them back to my website to hopefully get them to take action, for hopefully get them to determine that, you know what, they've got to get involved in this awesome mastermind and become a member. Or for you, you know, wow, this guy is everywhere. He keeps saying, you know, coming back to your website, seeing something that brands you as that expert, and pick up the phone and call you, or, you know, take your action step of whatever you've got them landing on. However you want to retarget those ads. Again, you can do any of these. Now, the three that I use the most are mainly I use page post engagement, page likes, and then for this kind of thing I'm doing clicks to my website because, again, I want to drive that traffic back to my website. Okay? So, again, I paste in the URL address of where I want them to land. Now, typically in a real situation, I would be using a different URL address here because I would want them to land on a different page than the one they've already seen, one that has more of an offer and tells them a little bit more about what I do or what we do here. So I would put a different URL address in here just as far as it goes because that's where I want them to land when they click it. You're going to choose a branded image. Again, that's you in the image. And I highly recommend that you use PowerPoint to create the perfect size. Both the images I used on the original ad that you saw before and this image were created in PowerPoint. All I did is I opened up, I inserted a shape, and I made the box with the blue color that I wanted. I inserted my logo into it. I put a text box and changed the font to make it kind of look pretty where it says here to help you grow. And then I put my image in there and remove the background. Now, obviously, my image falls in front of here. I would change this up. I just wanted to kind of hurry up and show you guys what I would do, what I'm doing. Because my face is pointing in that direction, I can't really put it in this corner because then it looks like I'm looking in the corner. So I would actually move the verbiage over a little bit before I finished this image. Okay? And then you just easy way for me. I know that you can right-click and you can save you can save the PowerPoint as an image, but for this, because I want it to be 600 by 315, I use Jing because when you're using Jing, and I'll show you this real quick while we're on here, when you're using Jing, as you're making your Jing image, notice that it's showing me how many pixels it is as I'm going. So I would need this to be a little bit deeper. So that would be a good image size. It's 654 by 327. It doesn't have to be exactly 600 by 315, but that's the minimum. That's where you want it to be around because that's the perfect sizes. So I'd kind of play with it and get it to where I want it. But that's why I use Jing, because it shows me how many pixels I've got to be able to do that. Okay? Once you've got your image, again, same thing you did before. You're going to select your fan page to connect it to. I do that because I absolutely want my ad to be in the news feed, especially on the retargeted ads, because that's where they're going to see my face again. What you may find with only doing the right column ad is over a period of time, and with retargeting, it's something that's ongoing for you. But over a period of time on the right column ads, you'll get what's called ad blindness, which means they've seen it so many times they don't even notice it any longer. And that'll happen time to time, but being in the news feed, it's a little different because that's where they're looking to engage. That's where they're looking for content. That's the purpose of why they went to Facebook, is to see what's going on in their news feed, and you appear there. So I always make sure I do this step and choose my page so that I appear in the news feeds. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to set your headline and you're going to set your text. Now, again, this is a retargeted ad. This is a billboard ad. I would like them to click here, so I've got my URL address that they're going to land back on my website, but I just really want to brand myself as everywhere being everywhere they want to be. So for this one, my headline is Paul Baxter Mortgage Pro, or something that keeps me within that 25 character limits. My text would be, for all your mortgage needs, call Paul Baxter, 747-221-6649, renovation, FHA, VA, reverse. And I ran out of characters after reverse. But you could do something like that, but no, it's got my phone number in it. So even if they don't click, I'm producing my phone number. I'm branding myself with my image. Again, I don't do the button part, but I definitely would do the show advanced and put in a little bit longer description. Make sure that it's a good little description about, about you, your services. It's a branding thing. It's not the time to be shy. You only got 200 characters. Tell them why you're the best loan officer partner in the area, right? And then as far as choosing your audience, you are going to only choose your website custom audience this time. You're not going to add any other demographics whatsoever for when you're doing your retargeting. When you're setting up that ad, you've got enough people. You can create that ad for the people who have visited your website. You are only going to select your website custom audience from your list of custom audience. Okay? Only select that. That way this ad is only being served to those people who have visited your website. That's how the retarget works. So I've got two ads that we talked about today. We talked about one ad that's getting people to get added to my website custom audience, and now we've talked about doing an ad specifically only geared towards my custom audience that I've built from visitors of my website. And so that's the strategy, is to get people to click your website, and then from there it's a constant, you run a website custom audience ad to them, and they are constantly over and over and over seeing you. It's a reiteration of you, and it's that branding thing. And on top of it, you're driving traffic back. And again, we've talked about this statistically. According to Google, people take action after visiting more than once. They do not take action on the first visit. They don't take action on the first visit. It's the subsequent visits when they take action, because you've built trust. Maybe they've got time this time, or whatever the reason they left the first time. That reiteration, keep serving them, keep serving them, keep serving them, and they'll take that action step once you've reached that, or as Alan likes to say, bought enough brain cells to get them to take that action step. Okay? So this one, you're going to name your ad retargets to identify what ad they see, especially if you're planning on doing different ad types to your website custom audience. You're going to select your pricing option, and you're going to place the order. The pricing doesn't change at all. Again, I'm looking to get people to come back to my website, so I'm doing it to optimize for clicks because I want that to happen. Okay? But on the retarget ads, what you'll notice is that the number of impressions is much, much higher than a regular ad in terms of frequency. Not in terms of number of impressions, but in terms of frequency, it's much, much greater. And so you're constantly putting your ad in front of people. You can do these kind of ads where you optimize for impressions, and that will help you greatly, but that's typically going to be best once you've built your website custom audience up, far above the 20 or 30 to get it going. You want to start doing that kind of stuff, optimizing for impressions once you get in the 200, 300, 400s on that website custom audience. Okay? Your cost on the retarget ads will be very minimal. Again, because you're getting more frequent impressions as opposed to individual impressions, and when that happens, the number of clicks goes down because this guy clicked it, he clicked it already, and he's still being served the ad. So he's already taken the action step. So your number of clicks will go down as time passes. You won't reach your daily budget on most days. You typically will not reach your daily budget on the retargets, which is a good thing. That's why you set a budget. You can also do these ads for page likes, page post engagement, all of the different types of ads. Those are my two favorites, so you can do an ad to those. You can even optimize them for impressions. A big thing to do is don't just let it sit there. Be creative. Use different messages in your retarget ads. maybe create 3 or 4 different ads that are all being targeted to the same website custom audience. That way one day they see you with the blue background. The next day they see you with a green background. Today they see the message about, you're the FHA 203K renovation loan expert, and tomorrow they see a message about how you are the local USDA loan guy. Find out more about how that works in our area, or whatever the case may be. Just mix them up a little bit. I recommend you do 3 or 4 different ones to the same audience, so that each time they see it, they're seeing your ad over and over again, but it's a little bit different. It gives that impression that you're doing more, that you're going above and beyond. It's that branding that you're looking for as the expert, that person that's doing more than everybody else. And this whole thing, the whole purpose behind this strategy is to increase your brand and your website conversions. That is the whole purpose about it, is to increase how people see you. Grow your brand yourself as that go-to person, that expert, so to speak. So like the ad says, just do it. And that's it for today's presentation. So I know that there's some questions about a lot of stuff. Some of you that missed yesterday, if you've got some questions about excuse me, some questions about how the ads actually work, how to get your pixel. Now is the time. We are open forum at this point. We are open forum, so whatever questions you guys have. One of the cool things that you can do, and we didn't look at this too terribly deep yesterday, is once you've created it and as you're going through it, you can keep an eye or determine where things are going, or how things are going, or how many clicks you're getting, and things like that, by coming into your audiences, if it would open up here, and you just hover over it. If you go to the pixel details, at the very top of pixel details, it starts showing you events, like what's going on right now, what's happening in the last 24 hours. How many people clicked this day, how many pixel events are happening in the last 7 days. I can see I had 12 there, and then, I only had 3 there, but now I'm kind of got 7 already here. So you can kind of see what's happening with your pixels. All right. Got some good questions popped up in here. I have a URL of my own that points to my Weebly website. If I have people go to my reagentsuccesscenter.com URL, they will land on REX Successcenter Weebly website. Will the pixels still work even though they got to my website through my personal redirect URL? Yes, because the where they land, the one with the Weebly extension, is where you've pasted that code, right? So the URL address really doesn't have anything to do with it, other than you've got to have the code on the page that they land, because the cookie is not embedded. The cookie isn't added to the website visitor's website or browser, excuse me. The cookie's not added to the visitor's browser until they land on the page that has that code on the back end of it. That code is what says, it sends a little message over to their browser that says, hey, here's a little cookie, hold on to this for 180 days. And if they have that cookie on their machine, I can now run an advertisement that says, by selecting that custom website audience, what happens is electronically on the back end, nothing we all have to worry about, a little signal is sent that says, over the internet, that says, hey, show me everybody that's got this cookie real quick. And when that happens and they come to Facebook, ooh, you've got this special cookie, boom, here's an advertisement for you. So it all happens on the back end, but you've got to have that code on there in order to make it happen. So you can have whatever URL address you want, as long as when they land on the redirect, it's got the code there that adds that cookie to their browser. Yes, you are going to need to paste that code on every page that you want them to get a cookie for landing on. You don't necessarily have to have it on every page of your website, But if you've got specific pages of your website that you want, if they land there, you want to be able to serve that. You want to be able to serve that redirect ad or add them to your website custom audience. Yes, you do have to have the code on those pages. Now, for me, I'm using Optimize Press through WordPress. With Optimize Press in WordPress, there's a very specific, and most of your websites will have something like this. Weebly, I noticed, does not. But most of your websites will have something like this, where if I go to Optimize Press's dashboard and I go to Analytics and Tracking, I can paste my code here one time, and what that does is it makes it so that that code is now on every single page that we build with our website. It's just on every page. Okay? So it works that way for us. With Weebly, I don't believe it gives you that same ability. You can't just do it universal like that. I believe you've got to put it in the header section of each page on Weebly. How does the website audience created, and where do I see the number of people inside that audience? So it's created when somebody lands on your website, James. A cookie is added to their browser, and that cookie is a little stamp that says, hey, this person's been to www.james.com. And so it starts collecting that data, and it adds them into your audience every time it happens. And then so what you get is it'll start adding to the audience. Now, as you get more and more people, the number of people in your audience will be shown right here. Mine is not big enough yet to show that, but I just started my ad just about less than an hour ago, so I don't expect it to. It'll take a little bit of time for that to happen for me because I'm doing mine via the ad, okay? So you can also go and see what's happening with, did you do something that boosted that number? Like right now, as you can see, I'm trying to boost that number. It's giving me a 24 hours look over the last 24 hours for 1,400. 20, there's midnight right there, 0200, 0800, before X number of time, the next mark is 1400, so I probably won't see a little chit mark for another minute here, but you can also look at the last 7 days as well, and I just started this on a specific date, but you can see, I did something that got me a little bit of a boost, and then, that's the same day. I wonder why it's separating those two. It must be the break. I'm not sure why that's separating that two. It doesn't make much sense. You would think that they would add all those together, and then, today, over the next little bit of period of time that they're marketing, I've gotten 7. And so it just keeps adding. And then again, once you get to a certain number, you're going to see that number right over here, just like any of your other audiences. Is that all the questions? Nice. Nice. So that's all the questions. Again, I mentioned you guys can do several different types of ads. You can even do, page post engagements where you go and you create a nice post. Come on, Facebook, catch up today. Has anybody else had any Facebook slowness issues today? Me too, Jeff. Okay, so it's not just me. Okay, I will tell you, getting my ad, I had to reboot my machine and come back to it. Still couldn't get it to run my ad. I tried like 5 different times, and it finally, like, it was stuck. It was like going through this, like it was spinning, but it wouldn't do anything. Finally it took. So I don't know. Facebook's having some sort of server issue today. But you could do like, okay, I've made a post here, the number one mistake. I've done it. This is a post. This is not the ad that I did. This is a post. And I was originally going to do it one of 2 ways because, as you can see, I clearly have my website link in here. Now, I'm going to go ahead and do this for you guys so that you can see it, is if I go, let's say I go over to my ads manager, and I've got the one that I created the direct link to, Why did I just do that? I clicked the wrong button. Sorry, guys. I meant to go over to my Ads Manager, and I can click the Create an Ad. And as you guys know, I like the page post engagement because it allows me to create my verbiage, my headline, all of the stuff I want to say in an ad. I can do it in a post, and then now I can promote that post or get that post seen, but serve it as an advertisement with all of the verbiage without having to worry about, is it shortening my verbiage, and this is what it'll look like in the news feed. And then I can come over to show advanced options, and I can do a URL tag if I want to. I'm not going to do a URL tag, but I don't have to do any, worry about a headline or a text. I can have my whole message be delivered as an advertisement. Again, the way to do that, you would just come in, and under custom audience, I'm just going to choose my custom audience, website visitors. That's fewer than 1,000, so it's not letting me do that just yet. Well, actually, it looks like it may let me do that. Let me try something here. I want to go $100. Optimize for page post engagement. Now, I could also optimize for impressions if I wanted to optimize for impressions. That's going to charge me $1.60 per 1,000, which is about 1/16 of a cent. Let's see what this does. Will this allow me to place the order? Yeah, and this is what it was doing earlier. I placed the order and absolutely nothing is happening. It's like stuck here. Now, if I click review order, it's just going to sit here trying to review and nothing will happen there either. So if you run into that, just know that Facebook's having some issues today. That is not the norm of how that works. Can we create the audience to be homeowners or renters? Sure. So what you would do is so remember today I showed you 2 steps. The first step is how to create an ad that's going to target your audience to get those clicks to your website. So what you would do is you would go through these steps, and then in this first audience section, you would use demographics. But in the demographics, what you're going to do is you're going to use home ownership, renters. Right? And so now I'm doing an ad that's going to be served to renters, and when they click that website, I've got my pixel there, and now I can run a redirect ad that specifically talks to people who are renters. Hey, still renting? Every day they see it. Still renting? Still renting? Still renting? Why don't you give me a call? Click here to find out why you should buy instead of rent. That kind of thing. So yeah, you can absolutely do that. Just create the first ad that gets the website clicks, targeted to that audience, those renters that you want to look at. And shoot, you could even throw the overlay on under behavior. What was it? No, it wasn't under behavior. It was under more demographics, home. Not household composition. Hold on. Where was that again? Where was that? Financial? No, okay, I'm sorry. It is under behavior. I apologize, guys. It is under behavior. I was right the first time. Scroll down to I did interest. Under behavior, Scroll down to residential profiles, and then under residential profiles, add likely to move. So now I've got renters who are likely to move. And now I can target those people when they click. I can run a retargeted ad directly to them, constantly reiterating, 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 branding, branding, branding. Absolutely. Jeff is asking, can you create a renter ad to be seen in an area not near you? You absolutely can. Just because I'm in my area of Florida doesn't mean I have to keep my location right here. I could run my own ad, Jeff. Let's say I wanted to run an ad to San Diego, California. I can run my ad to San Diego, and I'm nowhere near San Diego. I can run my ad to, I know for a fact that in my particular area where USDA loans are available, it's going to be Lake Wales, Florida is a USDA area, and all the 50 miles around Lake Wales, Florida is a USDA area. So I could run my ad. Now that's about 70, 80 miles away from where I am. I also know that Chokoloski. I can't remember how to spell it, so I'd have to look that one up. Let's go Ocala, because Ocala is in a very rural area as well, so I could go Ocala, 50 miles around. And so I can go to any of those areas. Now, Ocala is about 300 miles away from me. So you can absolutely market that any which way you want to get those clicks. The main thing is to get those clicks and then ensure that you're constantly running an automated ad that's constantly being seen right in front of those people. Does it change any of the other ads, such as realtor ads in Orange County? It absolutely does not. It does not change any of those ads. What you're doing is they're separate. They're all separate, and that's really awesome that they're separate because that gives you the ability to manage or to analyze and to track your results, to see what your ads are actually producing for you. So you would have in your ads manager, you would have two different results down here showing you, here's my one, and again, that's my website clicks ad, and the other one I've named properly so it tells me what that name actually is, okay? And that's why I would name my retarget ad or something like that. So then I can just look at the results for those specific ads that I'm running, right? And that's awesome about it. Guys, girls, that is it for today. I appreciate you hanging out with me, spending a little bit of your valuable time. Got a great class scheduled for you tomorrow. Looking forward to seeing you on the Top Producer interview session. I will be shooting you out an email. Guys, girls, thank you so much for spending your week with me this week. I hope you learned a little bit of something, and I can see that several of you are getting this implemented. This strategy implemented. Keep rocking with it. Any questions you've got, don't hesitate to shoot them at me. We'll be together again on the Daily Mastermind, same time, same channel on Monday. Have a fantastic day and fantastic weekend, and I will see you guys on the flip side. Have a good day, everybody.